Happy New Year's, everyone. My name is Luke, and welcome back to my channel. So, as promised in my previous videos, this is the final video that I will be making in 2022. So, this is basically my last video of 2022. And, yeah, hope you guys are doing well. And, this is just going to be me talking about how my year was, basically. And also why 2022 was the best year of my life. 2022 was this was one hell of a year, honestly. This was probably the craziest year of my very short life. I've only been alive for 16 years, and in that 16 years, 2022 was definitely the craziest year of my life. And that's probably why it was the best year. This year was it was very exciting. I had a lot of fun memories this year. I've had so many fun memories this year. I have actually wrote them down in a little notebook so that way I will never forget them. That's how much fun I have had this year. This year was also very crazy. A lot of crazy shit happened. A lot of bad things happened too. But, honestly, I think that's kind of how life works. There are moments in life where you have so much fun and you experience so much joy you never want it to end. And then when life is basically trying to bend you to see how far you go before you break, those are the moments where you want life to end, you know? But that's just how life works. There are moments in life where you experience misery and pain, but also happiness and joy, because those two things, pain and happiness, they are the opposite of each other. They are basically two sides of the same coin. So what I experienced this year was basically just how life works. But the reason why 2022 was so much better is because, or why it was the best year of my life, is because back in 2020 and 2021, those were some very, very bad years for me. I suffered a whole lot back in 2020 and 2021. In 2020, I suffered a lot more mentally, and in 2021, I suffered a lot more physically. I remember specifically in 2021, first I ended up in a hospital because of food poisoning. Definitely not fun. The second time, I went to the dentist for a tooth extraction, and if that wasn't bad enough, the numbing gel or whatever, like how they numb your mouth before they basically pull out the tooth. Well, the dentist was a stupid asshole because the numbing gel that he put in my mouth was either not enough, or that numbing gel was just, it was an ineffective numbing gel, because honest to God, for God to strike me dead right where I sit right now, I felt that fucking dentist rip out that tooth right out of my mouth. I felt everything. From the minute the pliers grabbed a hold of the tooth, and from the minute he started yanking it out of my mouth, I felt everything. So, 2021 was not a very fun year, and 2020 was, it wasn't worse, but the reason why 2020 was so bad is because I was extremely depressed and I didn't really know what was wrong with me. As you guys know, I am mentally ill, unfortunately. I have ADHD, and back in 2020, I didn't even know what ADHD really was. I mean, I heard of it, but I didn't really know that my symptoms were associated with it, the symptoms that I was experiencing. So back in 2020, I didn't really know what was wrong with me because I didn't really know a lot about mental illness. So I thought that I was just either going insane, or I was going mad, or I had some kind of problem that nobody else had. So back in 2020, I was just going through a whole lot of psychological suffering due to the fact that I didn't know what was wrong with me. I was miserable. I was scared. I felt alone because I thought that what I was going through was something that only I was experiencing. I didn't think that everyone else or everyone else with ADHD was experiencing the same thing I was. So back then I was very very afraid. I was very scared. I felt very hopeless. And as I just told you, in 2021, I suffered a lot more physically than I ended up in a hospital twice. I had problems with my diabetes, so definitely not a very fun year, both 2020 and 2021. And that's the reason why 2022 was the best year for me, because in 2022 I didn't experience those painful events again. In 2022, I just experienced a lot of joyful moments, basically. Like, I had moments in 2022 that it felt almost scripted, almost. Like, it felt almost too good to be true. I had a lot of fun this year. This was one hell of a crazy ass year, and I never want to forget it because this year was also very special to me. I had so much fun this year just enjoying myself. And one thing about my ADHD is my ADHD makes it very hard for me to basically experience joy to begin with. That's due to the lack of serotonin and dopamine in my head. So it's hard for someone with ADHD to even experience joy. So joy it's a rare thing for me. I have a hard time actually experiencing it. So that's another reason why 2022 is so good for me, because for the first time in a long time, and despite the fact that I have chronic ADHD, I was able to actually enjoy my hobbies, the hobbies that make me happy, the things that make me happy in life. I was able to enjoy them. I was able to have fun again, just like I used to when I was a little kid. Before my ADHD symptoms started getting so severe as they are now, I was able to experience so much joy this year. And that's one of the reasons why this year was so important to me, because I was able to experience happiness again, and especially after all the shit I went through back in 2020 and 2021, these moments of joy that I experienced in 2022 felt so amazing. It made me feel normal again. It made me feel happy again. I was at a feeling of well-being again. There was also bad moments too. There was definitely some bad moments. Definitely not as painful as 2020 and 2021, but I experienced a lot more depression this year. I remember when I was trying to find a psychiatrist to maybe prescribe medication and give me a proper diagnosis of my ADHD. I was not able to find a psychiatrist, and that's something that made me feel very depressed. It made me feel very miserable. I also experienced moments of actual madness. I daydream a lot because of my ADHD, and I felt like I was spending more time in my own head daydreaming than I was in the actual real world. I felt like I was away from reality, and I felt like I was like trapped in my own fucked up imagination. So I experienced a lot of madness as well. That's what it felt like. I mean, go tell someone that you are not in reality. They'll tell you that that's pretty much madness. So, but that's not the point. The point is, I experienced more good than bad this year. I experienced happiness this year, and I experienced a lot of goodness this year, and that's what made 2022 so special to me. It's what made 2022 so much better than 2020 and 2021. Because another great thing that happened to me in 2022 is I found out what was wrong with me. I found out about ADHD. I done some research, and that's when I realized that I had ADHD, and it's also what made me realize that I'm not the only one who's going through this. There are others who describe the very same symptoms I described. They describe the very same struggles that I describe. There are people out there who go through the exact same thing as I'm going through right now, and that made me feel better. It also gave me hope, because if those people could get help, then so could I. So, and also it makes you feel better in general, knowing that you're not the only one going through something painful. It makes you feel better knowing that you're not alone, and that there are other people who are going through this thing along with you, because it gives you a sense that if they could get through it, then so could you. So it made me feel better knowing that, there are others who go through what I go through. It made me feel, a little bit more at ease, basically. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know, how was your 2022? Let me know, did you experience more bad than good, or did you experience more bad than good than bad? Um, Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Happy New Year's, and I'll see you guys in 2023. And I can only hope for it to be better, I guess. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. This is Luke, aka Mr. Age, signing off. Bye bye, guys, and have a good one.